So, site number one, vacationstogo.com. Once you go to Vacations to Go, there's a green button in the top left corner called the 90-day ticker. And when you go to that 90-day ticker green button, it has all of the best cruise fares and all of the best itineraries that they've picked that take off in the next 90 days from today. Last minute cruise searching is really where you can find some great deals because they are trying to get rid of unsold inventory. So vacationstogo.com, usually my go-to. You have to book over the phone. You give them a quick call, and you'll be a very friendly, very helpful cruise line consultant that will hook you up with the best deal. Oftentimes, I find that their site is lagged because prices change constantly as people book. So oftentimes when I've called vacationstogo.com, they will give me a better price than what I found. They're also just like any other cruise agent where they can give you access to onboard amenities like specialty dinners, drink packages, onboard credit that when you book directly through the cruise line, you cannot get, which we're going to talk about in just a second a little bit more. Okay. So that's Vacations to Go. The next one is cruisecompete.com. This is a really nifty website where you go in and say, this is the cruise that I want to take on this ship and this stateroom category. And agents come and they essentially fight over you. This is cruisecompete.com. Within sometimes a couple hours, sometimes a day, you're going to get several emails from different travel agents that go to Cruise Compete. They see that you put a solicitation out there for the cruise and stateroom you want to go, and they fight over you. They say, hey, here's the best price I can do, and you know what, I'm going to throw in $100 of onboard credit or a specialty dinner, and really awesome website. So cruisecompete.com, make sure you check that out. It's really rare that going to a local travel agent is still one of the times, or actually a cruise is one of the times that going to a local travel agent can actually still help you out. No, we have a lot of travel agents in the group. I love my travel agent award travelers as well. Sometimes I just do not understand the makeup of your business and the way things have changed into 2018. But when it comes to a cruise, these travel agents sometimes have access to a lot of different amenities and prices that you don't get. Now, here is my caveat, and travel agents don't get too angry at me, but it's important everybody else knows. There are different motivations for the reason that a travel agent will try and sell you on a particular cruise if your mind is not made up. And that could be because of the incentives or kickbacks that cruise line is giving these travel agents in order to get things sold. So that is not always the case. I love my travel agents. I just want everybody else to be aware that there could be a reason that agent is selling you on a particular cruise, and it may not be because it's the best cruise. It may be because of some incentives that they're receiving on the back end. So take it for what it's worth. But if I'm going shopping for a cruise, I'm going to Vacations to Go, and then I'm going to Cruise Compete, and I'm going to let everybody fight over me because I'm telling them the itinerary that I want to go to. If you're new to cruising, here's the most important part. You need to pick the right itinerary on the right cruise line on the right ship. Holland America is great for those 30, 40, 50 plus, the old souls. There are Caribbean itineraries are great for families. Royal Caribbean is 110% family friendly, all ages, babies and kids club, all the way up to the senior adults. And, it just covers everything. It's our personal favorite. What I don't recommend and what some people may love is Carnival, right? Carnival is great for spring break. It's great for the partiers. It is the least expensive cruise fare that you can find out there, and sometimes your fellow clientele match that price point. Now, I love everybody who can go on a cruise. I just want you to be aware of that, and I just want everybody to understand that you need to make sure you know the reputation of the line you're taking. You need to know the ship, how old is it, when's the last time it was refurbished. Again, vacationstogo.com will tell you the last time that ship was refurbished. And you want to go on the new ship. You want to go on the new boat. You want to have the staterooms that aren't worn out, the showers at work, and all that other goodness. And it's important, as much as finding the right cruise fare, that you're on the right cruise line and the right cruise ship. So do your research. Cruisecritic.com is wonderful. It's essentially like flyer talk for cruises. Every ship, every stateroom has had a review. Everybody who knows everything about cruising is there. You want to go there and check out your ship that you're thinking about, your itinerary. And it's just an absolutely lovely website. It's called cruisecritic.com. Okay, so you've gone to these websites, you've picked out your ship, you're confident that it's going to be nice, you're confident that it's going to be refurbished, updated, or you know it's the new ship, that you've got the best deal, you've got some extras in there that the agents have been able to shared with you. And now you need to know, how can I use points and miles to make this experience better, to make it cheaper, to hack it just a little bit. So here is my recommendation, right? Some people ask me often, hey, should I get the Carnival credit card? Should I get the Royal Caribbean credit card? Should I get the Princess credit card? The answer is resounding no. These cruise line credit cards are just absolutely no good, right? They're essentially 1% cash back or worse. They don't have any bonus categories besides spending on the cruise lines themselves. The sign-up bonuses are terribly, horribly small. No, Kimber, I have not covered the cruise deal yet. And you just really need to stay away from it. So Tony's going to share a link right now to the Royal Caribbean credit card award chart, essentially, so you can take a look at that. It is just 1% cash back towards onboard credit, towards things like towels on board. Anyways, long story short, avoid the cruise line credit cards. They're never going to get you the best deal if you're looking to subsidize your cruise vacation. Okay, so that essentially leads you to a few options. Number one is cashback. You can save all of the cashback earnings from your favorite cashback card, and you can apply it towards your cruise fare. When I talk about the best cashback cards, I'm talking about the Discover It Match, which is basically 3% uncapped for the first year, earns 1.5% cash back, and then they match everything for the first year, making it 3%. Alliant Credit Union cashback 3% the first year, 2.5% after that. USAA 2.5%, Citi Double Cash 2%. Basically anything that's 2%. Freedom. All these cards that have rotating categories. The Discover Match has 5%, just like the Freedom. Take all this cash back, which, by the way, is way better than what the cruise line credit cards give themselves, and set it aside and subsidize your cruise vacation this way. Now, if you want to book it for free, there are points you can use for greater than 1%. And if you're earning these points at more than 1x, if you're earning them at 2x to 5x, then you start thinking about, hey, if I'm earning dining and travel points for my Chase Sapphire Reserve at 3x and I'm redeeming for 1.5 cents, well, now we're talking 4.5% cash back on my travel spend towards a cruise. So you can book cruises with your Ultimate Rewards at 1.5 cents each through the Ultimate Rewards travel portal. Now what you're going to find there are listings for their top cruises. You need to call to book. You cannot book it online, and it is not found on that first search page of the Chase Ultimate Rewards travel portal. You need to give them a call. Tony's going to put the 1866 number up that you can call and book these cruises with your Chase Ultimate Rewards and get a pretty good deal with that. There's also Citi Thank You points at 1.25 cents each. You have to, again, call. Now, these are travel agencies that these credit card companies license out to do this, so they should be giving you some of the same incentives that other travel agencies are giving you, like onboard credit, like the specialty dining, drink packages, and etc. So make sure you ask for that. Maybe they won't offer it up if you don't ask for it, right? So, Barclaycard Arrival Plus, remember, any travel purchase over $100, you can use those points to wipe them out and subsidize that cruise even further, okay? So nothing absolutely stellar that's going to blow your mind as far as getting a free cruise. Unless, which brings me into my third segment here, which is the cruise hacks and tips. You're a gambler. If you're a gambler out in Vegas, they all have partnerships with cruise lines. If you're a gambler on the cruise line, the pit boss, the casino guy, is going to notice you. The casino manager is going to put you in their players club, and they're probably going to offer you free cruises. I've seen some flyers for these cruise deals that the gamblers get, and they're just absolutely ridiculously great prices. So I know some people who have clever ways of making themselves appear to be big gamblers, even though they really are not gambling, just to score these free or discounted cruise fares, which I'm talking about like $200 for a balcony for a week. Because the cruise line casino thinks that they're going to come on board and play and gamble a lot of money and hopefully lose a lot of money. That would lead into a whole other segue about hacking Vegas and how you make yourselves do that. There are resources out there. There are people in Award Travel 101 who know how to do this, and it's really kind of my next thing that I would love to get into, hacking Vegas, getting these casino statuses, right? So there is one casino status that you can get with your Hyatt status. So Tony's going to put a link up here that if you remember, if you have Hyatt Elite status, it matches over to MGM Elite status, now capped out at gold even for globalists. But MGM partners with Royal Caribbean. So the Deju chain goes, hey, I have Hyatt status. I now instantly have MGM status via the link that Tony's going to share. And now I have benefits through MGM on Royal Caribbean cruises. The web page for this has disappeared recently. In preparation for this, actually, right before I got on, I was trying to find this web page of the benefits for M Life Elites on Royal Caribbean cruises, and it's not there anymore. You have to call the Royal Caribbean Cruise phone number, and you have to say, I'm an M Life Gold. I want to know what these benefits are on Royal Caribbean. And they're things like drink tickets, specialty dining dinner, and they're typically what costs, $50 or $100 to dine. You get the cash advance fees waived. So I'm going to say that again, wink nod, wink nod. You get cash advance fees waived if you go and take out cash, which is charged to your onboard stateroom. How are your stateroom charges paid for? Okay, so watch the replay of this and then wink nod. Listen to what I just said. So gambling, Vegas, matching Hyatt status to M Life has big dividends when you go on a Royal Caribbean cruise. Norwegian also partners with Caesars, I believe. So if you have Caesars status, which you can get through the Founders Card. If you're not aware what the Founders Card is, a quick Google will bring up more than you ever want to read about it. But you sign up for Founders Card, you get Caesars status, total rewards, and you get some benefits on Norwegian cruises as well. So these combining partnerships, programs, just like we talk about, whether it's hotels or airlines, applies to cruises as well. Do some digging. You're going to find some goodness that's out there. Hey, some of my basic favorite cruise tips. Here we go. If you never cruised before, I would love to hear your stories about how you get around this rule. So you're not supposed to bring your own alcohol on board unless it's 2 bottles of wine. I will tell you that if you drink 2 bottles of wine and have your own corking machine, you can fill up that empty wine bottle with whatever kind of adult beverage you would like, and you're bringing your 2 bottles of wine on board. So that's my go-to favorite. The old wrap the mouthwash bottle back up with vodka thing, I don't think it works. I think everybody tries that and they're looking for it. But a corking thing with a wine bottle always works for me. The first thing we do when we get on board a cruise ship is go straight to that dining room concierge to make sure that we get the seating that we want and the table that we want. So you can pick your own table if you're first, if they're not filled up yet. So we get on board. And, hey, Michael says Johnny Walker looks like Lipton iced tea. Yeah, everybody's got their strategy to get it on there and save some of that money. But back to the dining concierge. First place you go, pick out the table. They got the little map of the dining room, and then you're like, yep, we eat late, we eat early. We want to go to the show first. We want to go to the show second. Go and lock down that dining experience. How many people do you want at your table? Do you want to have the fun experience of, hey, we got 4 other couples at this big table for 10. We don't know. We're going to be friends with a couple of them, or I want this table for 2. My experience, hey, we've had great luck sitting with strangers at the dining. We actually still talk to a few of them through Facebook, and we haven't taken, since our honeymoon cruise in 2009, we met some couples and we still talk to them over Facebook. It's a lot of fun. Get off the smartphone, get out there, meet some folks, talk just like they did back in the olden days, and be social. One more tip, and then we'll talk about Disney. I'm talking about how I got this cruise for so cheap and how I paid for it to earn mega points while still gaining protection from my credit card in case things go foul. So when you're on the cruise and you say, hey, this is a really good deal, Richard's right, I can do whatever I want, I can relax, I can sit in this chair, I don't get motion sickness because we're in the Caribbean where there's no seas at all. Hey, look, folks, I've been out to sea for a year of my life. I've been on the water a lot. There's no rough sea in the Caribbean unless there's a hurricane. If there's a hurricane, most of the time the cruise ships get out of the way. You're not going to get motion sickness. These ships are so big now, they actually have stabilizers that come out right underneath the water on the port and starboard side that move with the motion of the waves. So don't worry about that. If you are, a simple patch behind the ear will take care of it. When you're on the ship and you're having a great time, you say, I want to do this again. You want to go look up for the future cruise certificates. This basically lets you put a deposit down, which is applied toward your next cruise fare. You don't have to pick the date or the ship you want to go. And they will take that $100 to $200 you put down, and in return you get additional onboard credit. So 2013, Emily and I took a Mediterranean cruise with Royal Caribbean out of Rome. Absolutely fantastic. Athens, Turkey, Crete. Just what a great, fantastic experience when we don't have to go fly low-cost carriers around. We said, hey, this is really fun. We put down $100. We get $100 towards our next cruise this summer, and they give us $100 of onboard credit as well. So don't forget about those future cruise certificates. They do not expire as long as that cruise line is still in business. And let me tell you, the cruise business is doing well. If you see all of these new, gigantic, state-of-the-art ships that they're pumping out of the shipyards every single year. And that leads me down to Disney cruise, $570 plus taxes for a balcony. And how did I pay for it to get mega points? So, repositioning cruises, number one, if you want a cheap cruise. That means that you depart and arrive at different ports. So if you take a Disney cruise from Houston that stops in San Juan, Puerto Rico, it's going to be significantly cheaper because everybody wants to go to Fort Lauderdale or Orlando and come back to Fort Lauderdale or Orlando. Because of timing and itinerary, sometimes I got to do these cruise lines. Got to move a ship from one place to another, and they can't go round trip. When you do that, you're going to find some really, really cheap deals. I'm talking transatlantic for less than $900 for 15 nights, stopping in the Canary Islands and places in the Caribbean. So, happened to find one of these January repositioning cruises on Disney. I couldn't believe the price that I saw. I thought, what is wrong with this? They got a typo over on Vacations to Go. So I call them up and they say, nope, this is absolutely correct. This is the price. So I thought, well, I got to get on this. And then I thought to myself, how do I get mega bonus points? I don't have a new card, but I got to pay for this fare in full right now because departure is so soon. Let me make sure that maybe Disney has this price themselves. So I went straight to Disney, and sure enough, they had that same price for this repositioning cruise. January, I guess right after the holidays, everybody's still in school. I don't know what the deal is. They just popped up, and typically Disney cruises are absolutely crazy. Somebody just asked, who did I call? I called vacationstogo.com. That is my go-to website to find the best prices pretty much anywhere for cruises. I've been using them since 2007 or 8, and they've never steered me wrong. Pun intended. All right, so when I found it, I went straight to Disney because what I want to do is pay with Disney gift cards. So you have a Chase Inc., your local office supply store sells Disney gift cards. You can get 5 times points. I can redeem points for 2 or 3 cents each. That's essentially 10 to 15% off gift cards to pay for the cruise. So I'm getting a cruise for $570. I get another 10 to 15% off because of the way I can use Chase Ultimate Rewards. So I paid for all of the cruise and Disney gift cards bought with my Chase Inc., with the exception of $100. Why did I want to pay for $100 with a credit card? It's because the City Prestige trip cancellation interruption protection is absolutely fantastic. So if something happens with my flight down there, if something happens with the cruise line and we get stuck somewhere, basically the City Prestige card is going to make sure that my family and I get home and it's not going to cost me anything in my pocket, and we're also going to be reimbursed for incidentals that happen because of these delays or interruptions or cancellations. If somebody gets sick, if I were to lose a job, it's really incredible if you go read the full benefits guide to the City Prestige card about what is covered, and you don't have to pay for the whole cruise. You only got to pay for a little bit of the cruise. So I just saved $100, put it on the Prestige, and voila, all 3 of us are covered in case something happens on that cruise, while at the same time, for the 3 of us, you know, you're talking after taxes and fees with the kids' fare, it was like $1,500 or something like that. So 5x Ultimate Rewards points, pretty sizable. We're going to get another free night in a Hyatt just for taking the cruise. Somebody says, is Chase Insurance the same? You really just have to go read the benefits guide of your Chase Sapphire Preferred or Reserve. It is all spelled out in the benefits guide. I don't have that memorized enough to tell you definitively, yes, it's the same. It is basically the same for these premium cards. But the City Prestige only requires a 3-hour delay, whereas most other cards require anywhere from a 6 to 10 to 12-hour delay before benefits kick in. So 3 hours delayed, including baggage, which happens really all the time. You can start getting reimbursed and covered for these kinds of deals. So lovely. I got a lot of extra bonus points. I got a really ridiculous cruise fare. I'm going straight to the concierge to get my dining table lined up. We've already pre-booked everything you can pre-book on a Disney cruise that doesn't cost $200, which is crazy. I actually went and bought more Disney gift cards with my Chase Inc., so I got 5x points because I can use that to cover my onboard credit spend. And then I've got my trip insurance interruption cancellation protection due to my City Prestige card. And that's really about as good as it gets for a Disney cruise, right? I've never taken one before. Always really expensive. I got a 3-year-old now who's pretty excited about it. And we are as well. So I look forward to that experience, and of course living and sharing in the group. I don't know if they'll have Wi-Fi. Let me see what kind of questions Tony's got here, because she's telling me I'm hitting 30 minutes. Sorry about those technical replays. You know, we're going to work hard on it this week because that really gets in the perfectionist side of me that I don't like to see that happen. So apologies and thanks for sticking around. What other questions do we have? Remember, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tell me, throw that link up for me one more time so that folks can see it. Yep, use a gift card to apply anything that is in your onboard portfolio or onboard folio. You can cover it with the Disney gift cards earning you bonus points. If you don't have Disney gift cards, of course, just use a credit card that codes as travel, because it will code as travel when it's time to check out and earn those bonus points. Hey, we got the winners from last week's contest, Award Travel 101. A lot of new member joins, a lot of new YouTube subscribers, a lot of new Instagram and Twitter followers. I will announce those in a post right after this live. So if you see that you're tagged and that you won one of our prizes, please send me a direct message. Tony, thanks as always for working in the background. Here's your quick recap to cruising with Award Travel points and miles. Find the best fare after you've designated the right ship, cruise line that you want to go on. That is the most important. There's no magic way to use United Miles or anything to get a free cruise. You can actually do that, but it is really poor value. Please don't do that. Please don't go to United Cruises and use your miles to book a cruise ship. I'm telling you, don't do it. Find the best revenue fare and then use Cashback or your Ultimate Rewards or City Thank You points at greater than 1 cent per point to cover the fare, okay? Hey, hack those combination benefits. Hyatt to M Life to benefits on Royal Caribbean, Founders Card to Total Rewards to benefits on Norwegian. Look up how you can hack Vegas and get these statuses. It's really not that difficult. I have both of them through Hyatt, through the Founders Card, and if I cruise any of those two cruise lines, we get extra benefits. CruiseCritic.com is your go-to resource for knowing the ins and out of your ship, of your stateroom, what's included, anything you want to know. CruiseCritic.com is the FlyerTalk.com of the cruise world. Jeanette says, any hacks or tips to save money on cruise terminal parking? You know, I thought about that. So what I'm doing actually for our cruise is I'm booking a one-way car rental to the terminal, dropping it off, and then I'll have a one-way from the terminal back to the airport when we get back, and that is way cheaper than trying to pay for, you know, a week's worth of parking or all that stuff. Remember that your Shea Sapphire Reserve, if you had that $300 travel credit, should cover some of that parking there. Sandra says, has 6 or 7x possible points for cruises right now. I'm new. Is that a good deal? So I'll tell you, with those airline cruise deals, read that fine print very, very carefully. It is worded so poorly. It says, hey, you can get 1x per dollar. If you're an elite member, you get 2x per dollars. If you're a credit card holder, we'll give you an additional mile, something else, and it just gets really confusing to where they say it's 6 or 7x, and then you realize that you only qualify for 2 of those, and it gets screwy, and then it doesn't track, and then you didn't get the best price anyways because you didn't go to vacationstogo.com. So my advice is to just avoid that shenanigans and go and get that best price, and then cover it with your cashback earnings or your Arrival Plus miles or your Chase Ultimate Rewards, that kind of thing. Michael says, I owe $4,000 on my cruise and have the CSR in ink. Is it possible to buy $4,000 in gift cards from Staples to pay for it? Yeah, sure. Absolutely is. Definitely possible. I got Sandra's question. Michael's answering Jeanette. Once again, extended parking rate. That's true. Hey, also, you know, friend, family, Uber, back and forth. Yeah, right. That's what Michael just said. All right, with that, I'm reaching 30 minutes. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Next week's topic is going to be a doozy. We're going to get back to the bread and butter of points and miles. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm looking forward to my cruise. I hope everybody else goes out there and learns something. Have a great week. Stay a little bit warmer here in the U.S. It's not quite as cold. Everybody else tuning from everywhere in the world, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.